Hello everyone, welcome to Tutors Jamaica. I am Richard Lawrence and this channel is dedicated to tutoring, PEP and CSEC. Remember to subscribe, like the video and share the link with all your friends. Today we will be looking at the PEP Abilities Test. PEP is the Primary Exit Profile, a series of tests from grades 4 to 6 that will test students' abilities to reason, comprehend, and think critically. This is then ultimately used to place those students in high school. This is because the government intends to move students from being taught what to think towards how to think. Most teachers who have been teaching students to pass GSEC will have problem with this, because students will not be able to guess the answer. It will require them to think more. So let's look at this abilities test to see just what I am talking about. Now, one of the things with PEP is that there are oftentimes questions where neither answer is correct or is incorrect. But the correctness of an answer depends on whether you are able to justify the answer. Okay, so just think about that for a second. Just think about what that means. So you can't just say the answer is A. You have to now explain why you say the answer is A. Now, for example, I think that PEP is a better exam than GSEC because PEP allows you to have an average of your ability, which is a better reflection. GSEC is a single test that if you mess up, there is no second chance, right? So now PEP requires that you use what I call deductive reasoning, because you have to process the information you are given and deduce information that you are not told, and what other persons like Ian Boyne calls critical thinking. Now, GSAT uses multiple choice, which isn't inherently bad, but by itself it isn't a great indication of a person's ability, because they can guess. In other words, GSAT tests your ability to accurately select the correct answers from sets through knowledge or otherwise. So because you can guess in GSAT, you can actually guess 100% and get 100% if you have that kind of luck. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Which test is better, GSAT or PEP, and why? Best answer will win a prize of phone credit. So check back here and we'll tell you who the winner is. Now let's go to the actual test that we'll be looking at today. Okay, so here is the abilities test. This was taken from the Ministry of Education's website. So as you can see, it's the primary exit profile, May-June 2018, and this is a practice test for grade 6. This paper consists of 10 items. So today we'll be going through all 10 and we will be coming up with answers to all 10. Okay, so question 1. I'm going to make this bigger so you are able to better see it. Alright, I think it's right, so you can better see it. Now, question 1. David's mother gave him $200 to buy carrots at the blue market. She will be using the carrots to make juice for her church barbecue on Friday. At the market, David finds 2 vendors selling carrots. Vendor A has carrots for $40 per kilogram. Vendor B has larger carrots for $50 per kilogram. Question 1. Which vendor should David buy? From which vendor should David buy the carrots? And B, explain why you chose that vendor. Now, this is, as I was talking about earlier, a question where the answer of A is only correct if the answer of B can justify it. Now, in these questions, sometimes there's a very simple way to answer it, and then there's a more complex way to answer it. Now, if you go with simple, you want a simple answer, you can go with vendor A, who has carrot for a lower cost. So your explanation could be that because the carrots are at a lower cost, David would get more carrots, right? So that could be your explanation. David would get more carrots if he purchased at a lower price. However, if you go complex and you go with B, you can say David would get larger carrots, which might be able to, probably makes better juice because they're larger. You can also think about the time it would take to clean the carrots, because if you're using the smaller carrots, then you have more carrots to clean, right? So those are just examples of possible justification that you could use to justify who to buy the cards from. Now, let's move on to the next question. Question number 2. Right? Now, you are the captain of your school's basketball team. Your coach has asked you to help him to decide which player will be better able to help the team to win an important match against the team that is the defending champion. So do the table below and use it to help to make your decision. Again, this is a situation where you can choose either. But it all depends on your justification, because as you notice, their total score, the total points that they have scored in the past 5 matches is the same. So how do you decide? Now, so let's look at certain patterns. Let's pick out certain patterns. Let's start with Natasha. Natasha has been scoring. She has not scored incredibly high, but her average is, it's close to her average. So she doesn't have wild numbers. She has 1 in the teen and the rest are in the 20s, right? So most of her scores, she would be expected to score, around the same amount. So if we go 123 divided by 5, then she's expected to score about 24.6 points, and she's consistent because in the first match she scored 28 and 26 and 19 and 21 and 29. It's in a really narrow range. So using Natasha would be a good idea. However, let's look at Andreen. Andreen is not a consistent scorer. She's not a consistent scorer. She has 43, then 31, then 42. She would have the same average. However, she's a non-consistent scorer. So in match 1, she scored high, 44. In match 2, she did not score. In match 3, she scored reasonably high, 31. In match 4, she only scored 6. And in match 5, she scored 42. So, choosing Andre, if she has a bad day, then you're likely to get very little out of her. However, if she has a good day, then she could score a lot and actually help the team to win the game. However, there's another thing that I noticed with Andreen. Andreen goes from scoring high to scoring low to scoring high to scoring low to scoring high. So, seeing that she has scored high in her last match, I would expect her to score low in this match. Alright? So that's a pattern that I have noticed. So if I was making the decision, I would more likely go with Natasha. But as I say, it's about being able to explain why you are choosing one answer or the other. Question. So of course the question was, which player would better improve the team's chances of winning, and explain why, which we have just done. So let's move on to question number 3. In a bag, there is an equal number of red, blue, and yellow marbles. How many marbles could be in the bag? Now this is a interesting scenario. So what do we know? We know that they are red, they are blue, and they are yellow marbles. We don't know how many red marbles, we don't know how many blue marbles, we don't know how many yellow marbles. However, we know that all three of them have equal amount of marbles. So how do we approach this question? Well, for one, we know that there are no half marbles, right? So we're not dealing with half marbles, we're dealing with whole marbles. So then we know that in order for each one to have equal number of marbles, then the answer must be a multiple of 3. So now I'm going to give you I'm going to go through the ones that I can remember off the top of my head. I will probably have to do a separate video on just that alone. It won't be a long video, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. But let me just get to explaining this one first. So it's a division rule. Dividing by 1. Any whole number can be divided by 1. Dividing by 2. This is something you should know. If it ends in 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8, it's divisible by 2. Dividing by 3. Dividing by 3, if the sum of the numbers within the number, sum of the digits within the number is divisible by 3, then that number is divisible by 3. So numbers like 1, 1, 1, that's divisible by 3, or 1, 2, 3, or 2, 1, 3, or 3, 1, 2, or 3, 2, 1. All of those numbers are divisible by 3. Divisible by 4 if the tens line is 0, or 2, or 4, or 6, or 8, and the ones line is 4, or 8, and if or 0, and if the tens line is anything else other than, if the tens line is 1, or 3, or 5, or 7, or 9, and the ones line is 2 or 6, then that number is divisible by 4. Again, tens line being 0, tens line being an even number, then the ones line would have to be 0, 4, or 8, and then it's divisible by 4. Tens line being an odd number, then the ones line would have to be 2 or 6, and then it's divisible by 4. Divisible by 5. If the number ends in 0 or 5, then it's divisible by 5. Divisible by 6 if the number is divisible by 3, meaning if the sum of the numbers is divisible by 3 and the number is a even number, then it's also divisible by 6. Divisible by 7, we'll have to do that in a video because it's a bit complicated. Divisible by 8, right? We'll do that in a video, because if it's divisible by 4 and half of it, if you half it is also divisible by 4, then it's divisible by 8. 9, if it's divisible by 3 and the sum of that number is also divisible by 3, then it's basically, if you can divide by 3 twice, then it's divisible by 9. However, let's get back to this question. So, reading the question again, in a bag, there is an equal number of red, blue, yellow marbles. How many marbles could the bag have? So we know that it's a multiple of 3 because all of them need to have the same number. They all need to be equal. So let's look at 16. Using the rule, the sum of the numbers must be divisible by 3, and then that number is also divisible by 3. So 16 divided by 3. Now, so let's add the numbers first. So 1 and 6 is 7. Is 7 divisible by 3? No. 7 is not divisible by 3. And therefore, neither is 16. Let's look at 29. 2 plus 9, that's 11. Is 11 divisible by 3? No. And therefore, neither is 29. Let's look at 37. 37, 3 plus 7, that's 10. Is 10 divisible by 3? No. Therefore, neither is 37. 42, 4 and 2 equals 6. Is 6 divisible by 3? Yes. And therefore, 42 is a correct answer. Right. So division is your best way, the best strategy here. Can't think of any other strategy that would, But as I said, there are three items and they're equal, so they must add up to a total that is divisible by 3 exactly. Alright, so let's look at this question, which is a bit tricky, but let's go. Question 4. It takes approximately 90 seconds for the average person to brush his or her teeth. If a person brushes their teeth twice daily, how much time does one person spend brushing their teeth in a year? So, let's use our calculator for today. You might need to do this on paper, but let's start with what we know. So we know that each person brushed their teeth for 90 seconds. So let's put 90 seconds, and we also know that they do that twice a day. So we multiply that 90 by 2. That's the amount of time per day that they brush their teeth. Now, we know that there are 365 days, well, 365 and a quarter days that, in a year. So we're going to use 365. So we know that there are 365 days in a year. So we know that 2 times 90, which is 180 seconds per day that they take to brush their teeth. They're going to do that 365 days for the year. So let's do that. And now, so we have now 65,700 seconds. So we have 1 day, 1 hour, 1 week, 1 month. What we need to do now is to do some division to find out which one of these would best describe this time. So the first thing we need to do is divide by 60. This now will change our seconds into minutes. So we divide by 60 and we get 10,000 10,095. Okay, so now that we have minutes, we need to divide these minutes into hours. So we do that by dividing by 60 minutes in each hour. So we have 18.25 hours. So therefore, the closest answer we have, or an approximate answer, as the word says, approximately, the answer is B, 1 day. Now, if we were doing GSAT, we could rule out 1 week and 1 month because the time wouldn't add up that fast, that quickly. And we could also eliminate 1 hour because that's too short. So we know the answer is 1 day. Now, question number 5. There are 5 teams in a basketball competition. Each team must play each other team once. How many games will each team play? Okay, so there are a couple of ways we can approach this. Couple of ways, and we're going to go through a number of them. Now, if 5 teams are playing 4 teams each, then we say 5 teams each play 4 other teams, and so the answer we get, we multiply those and the answer we get is 25. It's 20. So the answer is 20, but let's go again and see if there's another method we can use to get 20. Now, if we multiply 5 teams by the 5 teams that will be playing each other, okay, cool, we have 25. However, no team will be playing themselves, so we minus 5 from that, and then we end up with 20. So the number of matches that will be played is 20. Alright, so let's go on to the next number. Number 6. If a droplet of water falls from a pipe every 20 seconds, how many droplets of water would have fallen from the pipe in 5 minutes? Okay, so let's see how many. So again, there are a couple of approaches, all of them leading to the same answer. There are a couple of approaches. So firstly, we know that a drop of water falls from the pipe every 20 seconds. So, but we have the time given to us in minutes. So firstly, there we can say how many drops of water would fall from the pipe in 1 minute. And to do that, what we'll do is to divide the seconds in a minute, which is 60, by the time it takes for each drop of water. So we multiply that and we get 3. Now, if we divide that and we get 3. Now, if we multiply that by the amount of minutes, then we get the answer to be 15. Another thing that we could do is we could say 5, and then we could multiply it by 60, and which gives us 300, and then we need to divide by 20 because the water drops every 20 seconds, and we get our answer to be 15, so we know our answer is correct. So let's move on to question number 7. Now, for every classwork given, a teacher gives 2 star if a student gets 90 and above, and 1 star if a student gets 70 to 89. A student got classwork and earned 5 stars. Which of the following could represent his score? So you would get 1 star if you scored over 80 but under 90, and you get 2 stars if you scored over 90. So what we want is the sum of to be 5. We know that the student got 5 stars. Okay, let's start with A, then go D, then go C, then B. Let's mix it up a bit. Let's look at A. Now, grade number 1, 85. That would have gotten the student 1 star. Grade number 2, 87. That would have gotten the student another star. Grade number 3, 90. That would have gotten the student 2 stars, a total of 4 stars. Grade number 60 would not have gotten the student a star. Let's go to D. D. 60, 62 and 44 are way below the star level, so neither of those would have gotten the student a star. 85, that would have gotten the student a single star, and 100, that would have gotten the student 2 additional stars, so that's a total of 3 stars. Now, here there are a couple of configurations that could get the student to 5 stars. So let's discuss those a bit before we continue. The student could have, because there are 4 grades, the student could have a star in 3 grades and then 2 stars in the final grade. Or the student could have 2 star, 1 star, 2 star, 2 star, 2 star, 1 star, 1 star, 2 star, 2 star as their configuration. However, the student could not have 2 or 1 grade in the star range to get the required star. So let's look at C. 100% would have gotten the student 2 star. 100% again would have gotten the student 2 star, that's 4 star. 95% would have also gotten the student 2 stars, so that student is up to 6 stars. 62% would not have gotten the student a star. So let's look at B to see if B is a correct answer. Remember we said that it can go 2, 2, 2, 1, or 2, 1, 1, or 2, 1, 1, 1, or something like that, but the total number must be 5. So let's look at B. B says 90%, which would have gotten the student 2 star. 95% would have gotten the student 2 stars. 60% would not have gotten the student a star. However, 85 would have gotten the student 1 star. And so B is our correct answer. Now, question 8. Paul, who is 54 years old, is 3 years older than is 3 times older than his son, Daniel. Daniel is 2 years older than his sister, Leah. How old is Leah? Okay, this is a really great question. So, couple of things. we need to first find out how old Daniel is before we can know how old Leah is. Now, Paul is 44. So we know that Paul is 44. So let's write down that. Paul is 54. Sorry, Paul is 54. So one of the things that we discussed earlier is that you can know if a number is divisible by 3 if the sum of its numbers is also divisible by 3. Now, why are we bringing up 3? Well, they say Paul is 3 times older than his son. So if Paul is 54, then his son must be 54 divided by 3, which is 18. So we know that his son is 18 years old, and his son is 2 years older than his sister Leah. So Leah is 16 years old. So that was a very easy one. It just takes a bit of thinking. Now, as I said, this goes back to GSAT. A person would probably guess incorrectly, probably guess 20 or something. But with techno, this critical thinking will help you to select a correct answer. So let's go to question number 9. Okay. School A and School B each has 650 students. The diagram below shows the distribution of male and female students in the two schools, and an equal number of male and female. So School A has more female than male, and School B has an equal number of males and females, because from the pie chart of School A, you can see that the female section is bigger, and School B states that there are more female, that there are an equal number of female and male. Okay, so based on this information, which statement is true? So which statement is correct? The number of male students in School A and B are equal. This is not true. And how do we know that this is not true? Well, we are told that both schools have the same number of students, and we know that School A has less males than females, and if School B has equal number of students, then School A must have a different number of males than School B. Okay, the number of male students in School B is less than the number of male students in School A. This is not true, because we know that the number of males is less than the number of females in School A, and School B having equal females and males would have to have a higher number of males. So C, the number of females in School A is more than the number of males in School B. This is true because there are more females than males in School A, and because School B has equal number of male and females, then the number of females in School A must be greater than the number of males in School B. Okay, so we are going through this pretty fast. So let's look at question number 10. Slow is to fast as young is to age. No, we don't say age people and young people. History, we don't use that. Years, no. The answer is old. If you are either young or old, so those are the opposite. And so basically that's the abilities test. Hope you learned something today. Hope you started to improve your critical thinking, and hope this you'll continue to come back here to watch these videos. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, share and subscribe for more great content.